up, everybody? We are back. This is episode 3, and I'm here joined with.
Easy beats.
What's up, Easy? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
of
I mean,
course, man. Thank you for having me.
yeah, for
I'm
sure, for sure. My friends and I, we actually wanted to do a podcast over the summer, and
yeah.
because whenever we're playing Xbox or playing on like PC or whatever, like we always say the funniest things ever, and we're like, wow, I wish we would have recorded that. I wish we'd be streaming or whatnot.
All
So
the, yeah.
So like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make a podcast, but I'm gonna base it around the stuff I do, base it around what I like and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tell us about yourself. Where you from? All that stuff.
I'm from Dallas, so I'm just outside of Dallas. Yeah, I'm from Texas, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous right now. So,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
but yeah, I'm from Texas. I'm 20 years old. Um, I've been making music for about 4 years now.
Hmm.
Been trying to keep that going. I didn't really take it serious until like earlier this summer, and then I started meeting people, and it's just been crazy ever since.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm from South Lake, Texas. That's like 30 minutes away from Dallas. That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. I used to live
Yeah.
around that area.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it depends where you're from in like Texas, the Dallas area, because some
yeah,
places just the music scene isn't anywhere near where it should be. So,
yeah. That's for sure.
like especially where I'm at, there's maybe like 2 or 3 people who do music. But if I go out to like somewhere else, there's like everybody's trying to do music there. So it just really depends where you're at.
It does. I love like the scenery
Hmm.
around like. So I live in Plano, but I love like the scenery of like downtown Plano and East Plano.
Yeah.
So it's real nice, but there's just not a lot of people that uh, really just do music out here.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah. It's tough. So, how'd you start producing? What was your kind of like the thing that made you want to start doing it?
Um, Really, what made me get into music? I was a kid,
Hmm.
and I remember I found this like portable CD player, and it was like in the trash outside of my school, and so I found this album. It ended up being Nevermind by Nirvana,
Hmm.
and so ever since then I've been in love with music. But I started producing early high school,
Yeah.
and I did it as a joke just because I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I thought it was cool,
Hmm.
but and then when I started taking it seriously, I noticed I was pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
you use FL, right?
yeah, I use FL.
I could never do that, bro. I uh
I
I use Logic, and the interface is just so it's clean looking and so simple. I could figure it out in like a day. And then one of my
I,
friends was like, "Hey, I'm about to start producing, and I have FL. Can you help me out?" I was like, "I can try." He pulled it up on like FaceTime. I had no idea how to use it or even what to do with it.
I'm not gonna lie. The first 2 years of me using it was pretty trash.
Yeah.
I still listen to it sometimes, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But I think I got it for free.
Mhm.
I like it was like FL12,
Yeah.
and then I got the cracked version, and then ever since then it's been pretty much history from that.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, off the record, tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that. That's like, what is it?
All right. So I I was watching. I think it was Sonny's live from Digital Dior
Hmm.
one day. He was just making beats, and then he was just replying to people's comments, and he was like, "Bro, this is what y'all got to do. I don't think y'all understand." And then I just got to thinking, and maybe like 5 minutes later, I tweeted out, "I was like, I'm looking to start a group. I want serious people about this." And then I think I replied to like 4 people that DM me that night, and
Hmm.
then the next day I woke up and I had like 50 DMs from people. It was
Sheesh.
crazy,
That is crazy.
but it was pretty cool because I didn't think like I had that kind of like drag
Hmm.
on social media,
Yeah.
but um, kind of just ended up being a group of producers. Like we have sections of people who do loops, so
Yeah.
drums, mixing, all that kind of stuff. And then right now we're focused on getting our YouTube set up,
Mm-hmm.
and then also sending packs out to artists. I'm trying to work with everybody,
Yeah,
to be
I feel
honest.
that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, have you all gotten like any placements with those yet? Or are you still working on
Uh,
that?
so we have a couple songs with my friend Ditch the Ego.
Mm-hmm.
He's out in Portland. Um, I have a couple local placements from with some of the guys from
Mm-hmm.
OTR and with Arquiz and then my friend TID. But other than that, we're still trying to get some more
Yeah,
always.
yeah. That's it's. I mean, it's tough whenever you're making a group because there's so many opportunities you can get, but at the
Hmm.
same time, whenever you're trying to build that group, trying to build the brand, it's just hard getting the name out there because
Yeah.
I know this group, Side Reel. They work with um, V Wills and a lot of underground artists, but they started off like maybe 2 months ago, and
Um,
I mean, they're really good. They got really great producers in there, but at the same time, it's just you need to constantly be working on your brand, reaching
yeah.
out to all these different things, and especially if you're doing YouTube, that's also great because tutorials, all of those get so much traction, especially if you figure out which ones. So I mean, that's great.
And yeah, like you said, like tutorials and just sticking with the schedule and stuff like that. It's pretty much, if you think about it, everybody kind of influenced that starting a group is influenced by like internet
Oh yeah.
money or like 808 mafia.
Hmm.
But I I'm trying to figure out ways to like branch out
Yeah.
and be different. It's just hard when there's so much you can do with music.
Yeah. That's what, part of the reason I'm doing this. I want to make sure I have like a foot or a hand in every single thing that I can,
Yeah.
from beats to a podcast to YouTube tutorials, everything. Like I started a TikTok like 2 months ago and posted like a quick beat tutorial, whatnot, and I got like 3 people hitting me up for beats from that, from one video. So I mean, it's crazy because you wouldn't expect it from like certain places, but when you finally do it, then you get all these opportunities coming in. So it's important to just get as many things under your belt as you can.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
Uh, yeah, I like you said from finding it from other places. Like I got one the other day from Facebook. I was like, I don't even use Facebook anymore. I don't have it on my phone.
hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So coming up as like starting to produce, who were your kind of biggest influences who just kind of you wanted to be like, one of your sound to sound like?
Oh man. So as a kid, I love Pharrell and Dr. Dre,
Hmm.
Teddy Riley, just like classic guys.
Yeah.
As I've like started producing, it's really been like obviously the basics like Taz Taylor, Nick
Hmm.
Mira, those guys, but I really love the grittiness of like DP,
Yeah.
uh, just the way he used to work with Chief Keef and stuff. And then I really love Pyrex right now. That's you can hear like the influence a lot
Yeah.
of my beats now.
I went through a whole Pyrex phase. I was like 10 beats in a row one night, just all of them sounded like a Pyrex beat.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
the
fire. They hit hard.
I'm addicted to the reverse open hats
Oh
and
yeah. I had a pack, a drum kit pack, and they had a reverse open hat in there. I was like, I'm gonna just try this. Now it's in like every single one of my beats at least once. So, I mean, it's nice. It just really just smooths right there, and it just hits hard too. So,
yeah, I'm telling you, it's a wave that I think is greatly appreciated, but also underrated at the same
oh yeah,
time.
it's like the reverse 808. That
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to make it just the perfect sounding one. Haven't
Oh,
got it yet.
I just looked up. I spent probably days looking up shortcuts and figuring out ways to do it.
Hmm.
Especially like the 808 from the Box by
Yeah.
Roddy. I tried doing that one so many times, and then after watching the Deconstructed on
Hmm.
it, I couldn't figure it out still.
Bro, shout out Deconstructed. That's like it's put me on so many different things, and
I'm
I'm
saying,
like I'm making a beat. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna just go chill out for a second. I'll watch it deconstructed, and they put it in like 10 minutes, 4 sounds. It's like crazy. I was like, bro, why can't I do that?
But yeah, I think my favorite one is the one with Perps for sure
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, I made the beat. I didn't even mean to play it for Juice, and he's like, 45 minutes later, we had a hit. It was
Mm-hmm.
done. It's
It's
crazy.
for real. So, have you personally gotten like any placements? Do you have any songs out
Um,
that you produced or anything?
just a few local ones. I'm working on getting a few more. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm trying just I'm trying not to be like spammy with my
Yeah.
beats. I really like building that connection with
Yeah.
people. I it's just hard just because I don't know anybody like around me
Mm-hmm.
that is trying to do the same thing that I'm
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
And did you send them to him, or were you like in the room together and everything?
Um, I sent it to him because uh, obviously right now
Mm-hmm.
quarantine. I hate like leaving my house kind of,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I wish I could get out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like when this whole thing started, everybody's like, "I want to go out. I want to do this." And I'm like, "I stay inside. I'm good. I'll wake up at like noon, make beats for until like 9 o'clock, and then hop on Xbox for a couple hours, do the same thing the next day. I've gotten so much done. Like it was
I
one of the greatest things."
when this started, I was still going. Um, I was still going into work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I still am, but everybody would always talk. Let's go to the restaurant after. Let's go to Chili's. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go somewhere after. I'm like, I'm going home. I'm got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, man. And it's crazy. You mentioned like Xbox a few times, and it's crazy how much that influenced music as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it, just making music, it's like a video game
Yeah.
now.
It really is. And they're starting to sound like video game tracks too. Sampling everything, putting it out. It's crazy.
all the virtual beats too.
Yeah. I'll go on YouTube searching for samples, and I find like a Donkey Kong soundtrack that just sounds crazy, and I'll put in a beat, and it's like crazy because it's like so many beats nowadays sample just different things like cartoons, video games,
I
car
do it all.
sounds. Like it's crazy.
Trust me, yeah. Like I think my favorites to sample are the Kill Bill movies,
Hmm.
and then also uh, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Obviously, like those are my top two right now for those.
You know what's crazy? It's the Mortal Kombat sounds. The
Yeah, that's true.
the announcers, whenever they say fight or something, you put that before the drop. Crazy.
Exactly.
It's the hardest thing ever.
That's another good one. I haven't really ducked into it too much, but I need to.
I have a whole folder just of every single Mortal Kombat sound I have. I'll just go through YouTube and just be like Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat whatever, sound effects, and it's just going on. There's some of the best sounds I have. But said you were from Dallas.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant in Dallas?
Oh man, you really hit me with that one. But I'll have to say, there's this burger place that I went to one time with my dad. I think it's called Maple and Motor,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably one of my favorite places. And I've only been there once, but man, I if it wasn't like if I wasn't locked inside,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go there at least once a week.
We got this place down here called Torchy's. Do you have one of those
I
here in
love,
Dallas?
yeah, they have a few of those here.
Oh,
It's
it is so good.
I love it, but man, I don't know how to I can pay $3-4 for a
Oh, I
taco.
know. But I mean, whenever I get 2 tacos, and by the time I'm like, that was 100% worth it. At the time, I was like, this is so much, but I just right after, I'm just full. I'm just ready. It's just so worth it in the end. Especially if you get in with the I want to say it's hillbilly style
Oh
with the just
man.
because they add more bacon, they add some more queso on it.
It just
It's
it
just
just
so
puts
good.
everything
especially
together.
with the fried chicken too. It's just so nice.
Actually, I had a bet one time that I could eat six. God, that was the worst day of my
Bro,
life.
I knock out two. That's the max I can do. It's crazy.
Uh, I can only do four. That's like my limit.
Sheesh. So, with this whole off the record thing, who's like one of your favorite and like most closest person that you've kind of worked with in like producer wise?
Within the group or like outside of the group.
Both, whichever one.
So I love working with everybody in the group. Everybody's so creative. Like, to be honest, it's hard to pick favorites, but my most frequent ones are Jailbreak,
Hmm.
Redbow, and then my favorites to listen to are probably um, my friend Dre, and then Coda. Lately, they're pretty good. But outside of it, I really like working with Alex Realm and Isana.
Hmm.
He's probably one of my favorites right now.
That's tight. Um, and I mean, did you meet just all these guys off Twitter, or did you know some of them?
Um, I met everyone. I met everyone off of either a DM,
Hmm.
snippet post, or somewhere on Instagram because that's where I started. I started on
Yeah.
Instagram, and halfway through June, I realized Twitter was the move.
Yeah. Instagram is just so hard just to get everything going.
It's it just feels so robotic
Yeah.
lately. Like I was in a group chat, and then everybody was sending their posts. And, like there was no real
Hmm.
connection. Producer community on Twitter is so much better.
Yeah. And I just feel like Twitter's more personal too. I mean, you
Yeah,
can just tweet out some just random stuff at any time of the day and just be fine. But like on Instagram, you have to like find a picture, get a post, do all this. It's a
the
lot more work.
hashtag.
Yeah.
You have to copy paste your hashtag.
Hmm.
So
Add like 20
I have a,
spaces.
I have at least 20 folders of just like customized
Yeah.
hashtags.
Like I dropped an album a couple months ago, fully produced by
Yeah.
me, with a bunch of random artists I found on like SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the promo for that very minimal because I realized if I wait a while during my post, everybody who follows me will get that. Oh, so and so posted it after like a while or whatever, and so like my first post got like a bunch of likes, like a bunch of impressions or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more it started going, it started getting less and less and less, just because you the more you post, the more like they'll throw it out, and then just a lot of people won't see it. So
Yeah.
it's so weird trying to understand when to post, how often to post, all this. But like on Twitter, you'll just tweet, "Oh, I'm releasing the song this day," and that's all you really have to do.
And it really depends on like the quality of it too. Like
Hmm.
people actually pay attention to it on Twitter.
Yeah,
Like on Instagram, I think it just depends on the hashtags you
yeah,
use. I'm like one beat will blow up. I'm like, this isn't even that great. Like
yeah.
this one's great, but
Like I
yeah,
posted like a snippet of a beat, like a full beat finished, and then I posted another one that was like 10 seconds long, and the one that was like 10 seconds long got so many more views, like likes and everything, than the other one that was fully finished. So,
it's I hate it when that happens. Like then you have like pressure on you to like
hmm.
finish that beat
Yeah,
or that song because then everybody's like, where's that at? Where's
yeah.
that at?
And then you start overthinking it, like, oh, I need to add this and this and this, or take that out, and it just goes so downhill.
Oh man.
It's so much work. So, you you sell beats online, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since I've posted, but yeah, I do.
And do you use like do you have your own website, or do you use like BeatStars or TrackTrain or anything?
Um, I have both
Hmm.
BeatStars and Track Train. I just haven't taken the time to really set up my Track Train
Hmm.
yet, just because I've been ever since Off the Record came about. I just been focusing
Yeah,
on that a lot.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm after hearing about like what Apple Music does
I
after
heard about
taking
that.
percentages off.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can do it anymore.
That's so crazy. I mean, Apple itself, great company, but the stuff they do with the App Store, trying to make
Yeah,
stuff like that, is just so crazy.
it's it kills you because they consider it like an in-app
Mm-hmm.
purchase. Like it drives me nuts.
It's so crazy. I mean, because now if you want to use it like the app as like an artist, you have to look at the app, and then you can either buy it there or go to the website and then buy it there. So
Mm.
it's nuts. I use Track Train. I switch over from BeatStars.
Really?
Yeah, best decision ever. It's just for me at least, it's so much easier
Uh-huh.
because you know how on BeatStars you have to like upload it to BeatStars and then upload it through there again.
Oh yeah, like you have to attach all of them. You have to fill
Mm-hmm.
out almost every single detail.
Yeah,
And track train, it's a lot easier.
yeah, and then plus the landing page on Track Train is so nice just because the way you can customize it yourself. I spent like a day or
See,
two trying to figure it out and making it like look really nice.
also it's pretty easy though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
easy because like for the landing page, the only real hard part is because you need to find the embedded links for each thing that you want. So I mean
Yeah.
that's pretty easy to find. So you just copy and paste it a couple times to each one, and then you're pretty much done. You'll find a cool picture or gradient color, and that's really it. So and they look
Man,
nice too.
yeah, I know. I need to get on that
Hmm.
because I, it's just I feel like it's like the Twitter to beat
Yeah.
selling, whereas BeatStars is like Instagram.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And the stats they
uh,
have, the analytics is so much nicer too, because you'll see how many you had within like that 20-day period. But you can also see which ones people listen to like the most out of everything, and they have like a
okay.
whole circle graph, and it's really nice.
They have that for BeatStars, but you have to download another
Yeah,
app for it, and then just it's it's too much
yeah. It's like what they did
work.
with SoundCloud with the Pulse app. They had like all your stuff on there,
Yeah.
and then they completely moved
I,
all that into just a normal SoundCloud app, which makes no
I
sense.
so yeah, I downloaded that because at the beginning of the year I was focused on being an artist.
Hmm.
Like I was really big into recording and like trying to just like be my own artist.
Yeah,
But so when I downloaded that, I thought it was cool, and then like 3, 4, 5 months later, just they just moved it all to the app,
yeah.
and I was like, what was the point of that then?
I mean, I feel like with SoundCloud, after a couple years, it just kind of started. They were just doing way too much, and they should have. Just because they were huge, every artist wanted to get on there just because they knew they'd have a bigger, better chance, and then they try to capitalize on that, and they just kind of made it go downhill a little.
Yeah, I see. I I don't even know what to say about it anymore.
Because I used to post beats on SoundCloud. That was like the first thing I was doing before like I put them on YouTube or BeatStars or anything. And then I stopped like a while ago because I just saw that BeatStars and Track Train just were giving me so much more traction, so much more plays and everything.
Yeah.
And then plus with the whole subscription thing with SoundCloud, I was like, I can either keep doing this one
Mhm.
or I can move on to this, which is a better deal, gives me more options. So
Yeah, but what scares me about SoundCloud, I thought about posting beats on there a lot, but they're so easy to get ripped off,
mm,
and just as YouTube,
yeah,
because everybody uses that converter,
yeah,
like whether it's to sample things or
hmm,
like just use it as on their own like songs. I mean,
yeah,
that's what scares me about those
no, yeah.
platforms.
See, like the thing with me, what I do is I have on YouTube, I post like these type beats or whatever,
Hmm.
just to get like traction. People are like, oh, this is kind of tight. Let me see what his other stuff is. And then on Track Train is where I keep all the real, like the top
Yeah,
notch, great stuff. So,
of course, of course. There's a few like good ones on YouTube, but
hmm,
then there's a few that like you're like that one blew up out of all.
yeah, like I'll keep the catchy, just really simple beats on YouTube, and then once they're serious about it, they'll have like the more. the darker, the cooler beats on like on my website. So
Yeah, I mean that's just you want them to really attract it from
hmm
YouTube, but you also want them to stay on your page. So
yeah,
that makes yeah.
and then plus with YouTube posting like consistently is just so hard because
Yeah.
I'll make a beat. I was like, all right, I'll put this on YouTube, and then I spend like the rest of the day figuring out what type beat it would be.
That see, so one of my members is actually looking into like creating like a type beat dictionary because
Bro, sign
that
me up for the
like
first copy, please.
because man, I'm like we're trying to name some of the beats we've made. We're like,
hmm
I don't even hear anybody on this. Like we like I'll even send it in like files. I'll name them as like I made this. I don't know what to call it. Like long names like
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Like the I don't know with like 10 Ks at the end.
this one shook my speakers or something like
Yeah. It's just struggle. Cause I'm like, all right, I hear this, and then I was gonna search up on YouTube like so and so type beat to make sure it correlates. Nothing at all. I was like, oh, gotta find a new name now. So
that. I think earlier this week I was up to like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't even remember at this point, but I was so tired. I looked up because I got two posters above my wall
mhm.
here, and I was like, I got two posters on my wall. I was just one of the.
Bro, we just gotta start the new wave, the two poster on the wall type beat. Everyone's got that now.
Oh man, if that's what I'm known for, I might actually have to disappear.
Bro, did you hear Easy? Man made the two poster beats. It slapped. It was the hardest beat of 2021, man.
Nobody's heard from him since though.
You dropped one beat and dipped. That's all.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine that. Just could you imagine that for like song names though? Just like
Just no,
I
just
don't know the name.
random thoughts of everything.
Yeah. Uh,
Was in the studio at 4 a.m. Had a cup of coffee. That's all. That's the whole name. Just random
it's
names.
that's kind of how what was it? Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats tape reminded me of it because it
Yeah.
like they named it like it had been a leak for real.
hmm
That was one of my favorite projects this year though, for real.
I liked it. I listened to it. I really liked it. I haven't gone back to it.
Yeah,
I was like at first I was like, all right, this is tight. I really like it. And then I'll listen
it's
to
one
one
of those
more,
where
but
it's like it gives you that like face like when you're making beats, so you're like hard, but
yeah,
and then once you stop listening to it, you kind of just don't go back to it unless someone mentions it.
yeah. I got the vinyl right there.
Oh,
I think
see,
yeah,
that's pretty cool though.
yeah. No, yeah, because like their the song names. First track is track one. Second track is Take It Back Volume 2.
Yeah.
But it's like take it or take underscore it
It's an
underscore back.
underscore.
Third one's
And
lay
then
underscore up.
what's that one that like ends with dot M4A? Like it just got exported.
It's the that one kind of print or colon thing, cosmic dot M4A.
Yeah.
It's, and then it's so dot incredible dot PKG.
Yeah. I don't even know what that file is.
It's crazy. Did you watch the video for it? Like the
Oh, I think I watched
I forgot
like each.
like the
I
main
watched
one
like
that they put out.
at least 30 seconds to a minute of each one, and then I
hmm
kind of fast forwarded through each one
Yeah,
because I want the different styles of it.
yeah. I watched it because it came out, and then I watched it the video when I was working out. I was running on the treadmill just watching it, but it was a really cool video. I really liked it.
Oh, I would have been struggling if I was you.
Well, I mean, because
that
I just had my phone set up right there, and so I was just running. It was nice. Had my AirPods in.
that was like what it was a 30. No, it was like 22 minutes, right? Somewhere in between like
18
20 and
minutes.
45 minutes long. Yeah, right.
hmm But I mean, speaking of, what's been like your favorite album past 10 years? One that just
Oh,
hits you.
can you? Oh man. it might have to be.
I mean, it hasn't. It doesn't have to come out within the last 10 years. Just one that within the 10 years that you've heard that's been
Um,
just big.
so kind of older one, Astro World,
Mm.
obviously.
First listen on Astroworld was crazy.
I still remember where I was at. I had just gotten off work from like an 18-hour shift. It was
Mm-hmm.
like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I sat there and listened to the whole album. I didn't even go home. I wanted to listen to it in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to it for a solid 2 hours,
Yeah.
and then I think an older one. I really like. I really like rock music, so I
Mm-hmm.
really liked. Here, let me look at it really quick. I haven't pulled it up in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
They're probably one of my favorites of all time. It was the Battle of Los Angeles. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorites from early 2000s, late 90s, and then also Murder Music by Mobb Deep.
Mm-hmm.
Some some older ones, but yeah, I would have to say those are my kind of like inspiration
Yeah.
slash favorites right now.
I feel that. Let's see. With music, what kind of do you gravitate? What do you listen to most of all? I mean, since you're making
Okay,
all this music, do you are you kind of tired of it and you listen to like other genres, or do you kind of stick with that?
so right now I'm really big into Kid Leroy
Mm-hmm.
and Juice and
Yeah.
Lil Baby, but I really just like listening to like country music
Mm-hmm.
and rock music as well.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll still listen to rap every single day, but um, those are just like the most enjoyable things. Like if I'm in the car in the
Mm-hmm.
morning, uh, it just kind of like keeps me calm for the day,
Yeah.
and it just I don't know. It seems weird to me sometimes, but at the same time, those are kind of my favorites right now.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. I uh I've been listening to a lot of Anderson .Paak lately. So like whenever I'm
Uh,
driving, it's just because it's since it's Texas and the summer's just blaring hot. But it's the perfect time just to drive with your windows down, have like the breeze there, and just his music makes it so much more enjoyable. It's crazy.
um, I think his song and YB and Corday's song together,
Hmm.
that's my favorites for that type of vibe at least
Yeah,
because it reminds you of like that happy like dance music from
yeah,
the 90s, but it's still really relevant.
for sure, for sure. But I mean, with me, I think it's his Ventura album, kind of just his like that R&B, but at the same time more uplifting kind of feeling. That's what I
Hmm.
just drive to the most, just because it's just such a nice vibe.
I think the only reason I don't listen to him every day was just because ever since I saw him on the XXL freestyle.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then like he let what's his name, Lil Dicky, out rap him on his own.
I always forget whenever I think of the 2016 like freestyle. I always forget there's two other or three other videos besides the one with uh like 21 and all of them.
Enzo Curry,
Yeah,
21.
I always
Yeah,
forget there's three other videos for that year.
everybody sleeps on the Dave East and G Herbo one,
I
even
know.
though that is one
I
of the
saw that. I was like,
best
that
ones.
one's fire, and then everyone's just doesn't know about it.
Uh, like I could go outside and ask somebody, hey, you know who Dave East is, and they'll be like, who? Uh,
What you think of the? Have you seen the this year's freshman list?
yeah, so um,
It's the
I
2020,
really
right?
I think it's pretty solid to be honest, but I mean, of course, they always throw in like a couple people nobody knows,
Mm-hmm.
like Chica. I had no idea who that
Yeah.
was, um, but I kind of heard her freestyle this morning. It was
Mm-hmm.
not that bad. It was pretty solid.
Who do you think you would rate like the top three in that list?
Um, Here, let me look because I think I would have to put as of right now my just from my favorites. I would put Polo at number one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd put uh, what's his name? Then I'd probably put NLE just
Mm-hmm.
because he's just a big name.
Yeah.
Who else came out? Let me look. XXL 2020. But that's another person I forgot was Polo. He's one of my favorites right now.
Mm.
I'd probably listen to the Goat album probably like 20 times. Um, oh, how'd I forget? 24K Golden. He's one of my favorites.
I've
Melodic wise.
never heard of him. Like I've heard of it.
Oh,
I've heard the name. I've just never listened to any of his stuff.
so he got his name kind of started popping off TikTok. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, and, I watched like Nick Mira's live streams where he'll make beats over the
Yeah.
acapellas, and his song "Nerves" was happened to be one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of just got into it from there.
Yeah. Like all the funniest thing is because I like Polo, but all the I'm on like I'll be on TikTok and you know, like where they rank like all their favorite rappers or whatnot. Every single one of them has him at top one without
I,
fail. Every single one of them has him at top
I don't
one.
know. Some I always see them with either like Juice, Lil Baby.
It's either
I've even seen. I saw one with Roddy Ricch at number one. I didn't agree with
it's
it, but
either Polo G, Lil Baby, or Roddy. Those three are top three no matter what.
I. Then there's like those outliers that are like have Young Boy at number one.
It's crazy. I just don't get it. Like out of everybody, I feel like I mean Polo G. I'd put him probably like 4, 5 ish,
Mhm.
but without fail, everyone just seems to just think the same and put him all at top one.
I think the reason I'd put him in my top two at least was just because when I was listening to all of his music, like as it was coming out, I really just like how intricate he is in
Mm-hmm.
his words and like how he can keep you like captivated to each song.
Yeah,
Like I don't know what it is. I don't know the word for it, but that's just how I feel about his songs at least.
yeah. Which I mean, it's like where you're at when you listen to certain songs, like what you've been doing, just really affects like people's opinions. So like, I mean, everybody's list is different, but the people whose lists are the same, their reasons aren't. So I mean, it's pretty cool to think about. Like, I could like a song, you could like a song, but we could have been just totally different reasons on why we really like that song.
Yeah. But man, that's with all music though
Mm-hmm.
too. Like um people strictly don't like music just off of like the artist's voice now
Yeah,
without even listening to it, and sometimes that bothers me, but I agree with it sometimes,
yeah.
especially with like when Famous Dex was huge. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like him. No, everybody was like, "I love Famous Dex." I was like, I don't see it, but all right.
I had like 2 songs of his in my playlist, but that was
I
about it.
had I had the one song with ASAP Rocky and him,
Yeah,
pick it up.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
had
other
that, and then I had Japan.
that was an all right one too. I like that one. It was catchy.
But like the rest, I just couldn't really get to.
Yeah. His ad libs crack me up though. Like I watch those videos where he's like in the booth and is
Mm-hmm.
silent around, but he's like recording his ad libs. It's hilarious
That
to me
is.
because he's so animated with.
I mean, just any really watching like any rapper doing ad libs is just one of the funniest things. Cause you just hear they have like the headphones on, and they're just moving around and around, and just will say a word at a certain time, and that's it.
Have you ever like been in a session and like watched someone record their ad libs?
It's the funniest thing
It's
ever.
it's so hard not to laugh. Like I'm trying to be serious, but I'll look at them and I want to start recording them. Just not do it. Oh,
It's one of the best things. Just this experience is just one of the best things. There's nothing like it.
man. But I'd feel terrible if like I was recording someone and then they didn't want to release a song just because I was clowning them off of it though.
If I was ever recording anything doing ad libs, I don't think I could keep like a straight face.
It's
If
so
I'm the
hard.
one saying the ad libs, I don't think I could ever keep a straight face saying it.
I had to pray when I would record songs on my own. I had to pray that like when I would say an ad lib
Mm-hmm.
that I would give myself enough space after the ad lib to laugh because I would always laugh, so I would just cut it that way, but and just make it smaller, cut the laughter out. But
Yeah.
that was the worst struggle for me.
So since you wanted to do like you wanted to release music first. Did you
Yeah,
have do you have any songs out or anything?
I have a couple with my friends, so I got one that I always like send links out to if anybody asks if I've ever like rapped or anything.
Yeah.
It was like right as this all started too in like March or April. It was
Hmm.
called Quarantine Freestyle.
Had to
That was my
capitalize on
favorite.
the quarantine vibe.
Yeah, but that was just one day I came home. I was kind of kind of just upset with like working,
Hmm.
and I think I found the beat on YouTube and then like just ripped it off YouTube and then just kind of went off my head for that one.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, that's probably like my like top tier moment being an artist. But maybe in the future, I don't know. My mic actually broke a week later after that.
It was a sign.
Yeah, it was. But hey, I mean, it got me into making beats a
Yeah.
lot heavier and focusing on the quality of my beats. Like, I listened to some of the beats I made in January, and I was like, "Oh God!"
I
And I thought, this,
know. It's such a big difference listening to old beats.
"Oh man!"
But I mean, I just thought I completely lost it. All right, anyways. We'll come back to that later. I had something. I've been thinking it in my head. I had it. But
All right.
oh yeah, I remember. But there's like 90% of the times I'm making beats and like I would let it run for like a couple of seconds and I'll freestyle to it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna become an artist. And then it happens every day. Like I'll make a fire beat, lights are off, LED lights are on. It's like at midnight. I'll say a quick freestyle like just out of nowhere. Best thing ever. And I was like, you know what? I just might do it. I just might have to re-record it and release it. I re-record it. Does not sound good at all.
I every almost no, I wouldn't say every beat, but like 60 50 60% of the beats I make, um if I like how it drops, then there's already a hook in my head, and then but then I like lately I've been sending them out, but I get it back from an artist. I'm like, that's a completely different flow than what I
Yeah.
was thinking of, but it's hard.
You gotta send it back. Hey man, I was actually thinking of this flow instead. Just start telling them how to do it.
Oh, I thought about doing that before, because there are some like artists that I've worked with in the past years
Hmm.
where I'll send them a beat and it's probably like a throwaway or
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, they're like, you can release it or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. But but there's sometimes I see the potential in them,
Hmm.
but I try to work with every song as best as I can for
Yeah.
those. But
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I might just have to just release a song and just keep a mic just recording it at all times.
I, I, hey, I'll probably add it to my playlist. I'm not gonna lie.
But I mean, all like with the album I dropped, all these artists that I worked with, they they had like they were pretty much the same genre. There were some that were different, but I'd send them the beat. I was like, all right, I think I know how they're gonna end up doing this. Completely different. So and it turned out really great too.
There,
So
yeah. Sometimes, like, I wish I don't have the mind for it, like where I used to think I did, but I don't. But uh, like when you send a beat to an artist and like they're like, "Oh, I already got the hook down." It's like it's been 5 minutes. Yeah, I just opened it and I found it real quick.
yeah,
Or they're like, "Yeah, I freestyled this." I'm like, "What?"
like this guy who I wanted to get on the album, V Wills, he did
Mhm.
lives or whatever, and people would send the beats. He'd knock a whole song out in like 5 minutes.
I love seeing artists do that,
Yeah.
especially that's probably the only reason I've kept Instagram so long is because of like the artists that I see
Hmm.
and watching their lives. Oh man, it's amazing to see, to be honest.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to get a charger for my computer. I'm at 14. I'll get it in a sec. But I mean, it's such a cool thing because it's just thinking of what goes through their head and how fast they do it. It's insane. It's just like I'm thinking here, it's like, oh, I can get a catchy melody off this beat, and it takes me about 20 minutes to do it when they can do it in like a minute.
I see. It's for me. I can find a melody like in my head, like I can hum it, but I
Hmm.
can't create the words.
Yeah.
It's just that's the hard part for me because I end up saying the same things in different ways over and over
Yeah.
again.
Just the same song. But all right, give me a sec. I'm gonna grab this charger.
All right.
I don't know if you can hear, but my computer's blowing so loud right now. It is.
Oh, I can't hear it.
It was overheating like crazy.
When I first got my laptop, that's how I felt. Like I did. It was like 3 days after I got it. I started making beats, and I woke up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then made beats until like 3 o'clock at that night, and it was so hot that I literally burned my hand on it because I all I touch is the keyboard and my
Yeah.
mouse. But um, I remember that I was like, dang. I had to stop using it and put a fan on it for
Hmm.
at least 2 days to make sure because I didn't want to burn my hand again.
Yeah. I mean, like with making beats or whatever, it's fine. But then like when I run OBS, when I run Discord, doing the video chat, just those two, or like when I'm trying to record like a YouTube video, running OBS, it's just like as soon as I press record, it just starts rolling. It just you can hear it just start going.
That
It's
it's
crazy.
the same thing with like PlayStation and Xbox though.
Hmm.
Like they start sounding like jet engines in the middle of the night when it's time to like
Yeah.
update it.
So do you have PlayStation or Xbox?
I got both.
You got
So
both.
yeah.
Dang.
So I was huge on PlayStation from like my sophomore year of high school
Hmm.
till like freshman year of college, and then one day I was like at TJ Maxx or something, and then I see in like the checkout line there's an Xbox One X for sale,
Hmm.
and then I was like, how much is it? My dad was like, it's 199. I was like, what?
Dang.
And then he looked it up on Best Buy, and it was like 499.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't use it, you could at least sell it too. And so I ended up buying it, and then ever since then, I've been like, been into Xbox a lot
Yeah.
more.
I used to be heavy into PlayStation. We had like a PS3 and I played like the PS2, all of that. And then we moved and I got an Xbox because all my friends had Xboxes.
Yeah.
But they're doing these like only PlayStation exclusive games now. And
Uh,
like,
that so like Spider Man.
mhm.
That's my favorite game on PlayStation. Like I won't even do a mission. I'll sit there for an hour just swinging from
Like I played
buildings.
like the PS2 version of Spider-Man, and like whenever they brought out this one, I was like, I want to play it so bad. Same with
It
Uncharted. I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and they made Uncharted 4 like 4 years ago, but it's just for the X or for PlayStation. So
hmm
like,
That's actually the PlayStation I got was the Nathan Drake
yeah.
collection of Uncharted.
So like, I'm going to college in about a month, and my roommate he's got a PlayStation. So I'm about to just buy this thing and just play the whole thing for it. It worked out so perfect because every now and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just get a PlayStation. But then I realized it's only for 2 games. I'm like, that's not worth it.
But then you look at those 2 games and you're like, oh
It's worth
man.
it. But I mean, the other day, I like 2 weeks ago, I bought a Switch. Greatest investment of my life so far.
So I actually used to be really into taking my Switch to school,
Hmm.
but I would play 2K on it just because I was like so invested in 2K at the
Hmm.
time. I had a PlayStation, my Xbox, and then my brother actually got a Switch, and then I started using it. It was pretty funny though.
With two, I mean, I used to play 2K a lot, but I'd like play my career, whatnot, get probably halfway through the
Yeah,
season, and just give up. Just
it's
because,
so hard. It's so hard to finish like the first
yeah.
season, and then after that, because it's just it's too much.
And then like through high school, I'd have an off block at the end of the day, and so me and one of my friends, we'd play 2K together, like the My Park, and we're both like he's like overall like 78, I'm like a 67 overall, and we're playing against like these 90s, 80s, and in the park, and we lose every single game, and then we find this one guy who's like a 76 or whatever to play threes with,
Yeah.
and we like hopped on like Xbox Live with him and everything, and we got our first win ever with this kid. And ever since that day, we just kept playing with him, trying to get another win. We got like maybe 2 wins in total. We were like two and like 30, but I just could not do it with 2K because I get
Uh,
them every other year. But
yeah. So like, I didn't get it this year. I got it
same.
in on 19,
Hmm.
but 20. I heard it was bad,
I
so
did
that's
too.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But
apparently they have golf. Like 2K plays like this golf, and
what?
they have like 2K21 golf out right already. It's
Oh man.
crazy.
So speaking of golf, I used to play Tiger Woods all the time. I still have my very first GameCube
Hmm.
out every now and then. Like when I'm feeling like nostalgic, I'll
Yeah.
hook it up, start playing Tiger Woods 2000.
Yeah, I have my PS3 in my room hooked up to the TV there. It's like whenever I'm bored, I would just be like, you know what? I'm gonna play Need for Speed, because that's just the game that whenever we had our PS3, that was the game I played all the time. Was some Need for Speed Most Wanted, one of the greatest
Oh,
games ever.
I love Need for Speed. That's my game probably until I die. Even though Forza is great
Hmm.
for like the Horizon games, those are amazing. But I always have a soft spot for Need for Speed.
Yeah, and especially because they had all those phone games too, so you could take it on the go. It was so fun.
And
My brother plays a lot of Forza. I never really got into it.
it, it's it's a little choppy. That's
Hmm.
why I don't like it so much. But uh, that's just my
Yeah,
preference.
it's too professional for me. Like I don't
It is
like.
a little bit, yeah. Uh, even like the street race games, it's
Hmm.
a little bit like. Um, so I'm a little weird. I like playing like with manual, so like I actually have to click a button
Oh,
to shoot.
really? You have like those? Do you have like that extra thing on like the controller that you can put?
No, no, I can't. I can't bring myself to spend the money.
I'm
But
like that. All my friends have the rechargeable controllers for Xbox,
oh,
and I use batteries. So like every now and then I was like, I'm in the middle of like a Warzone game or something, like, guys, hold on, I gotta go get these batteries real quick. Run downstairs, get them, put them in, and every single time, without fail, they're like, bro, just get the rechargeable ones, get the rechargeable ones, get the rechargeable ones. And I was like, I'm fine. I have batteries. I'm all right. But like the more I think of it, probably spend more money buying batteries than
hmm.
it is with the rechargeable one.
So well, every time my batteries die, I just plug it in because I don't feel like getting up going to get battery.
I would do
I
that,
hate.
but my table is just so far from where I sit.
Yeah,
I'd have
that's
to get like
true.
a 20-foot long cable. It's crazy.
But I do it. So I do everything on like the desk that I'm sitting at
Hmm.
now. So like I have my studio, and then I just turn on my Xbox, and I have another monitor behind it that I play.
No, yeah, because I have mine. Mine's TV set up right
Yeah,
there.
okay.
And
Yeah.
then there's the desk, and then there's a chair over right behind me.
Yeah.
So yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And so, because I like being comfortable, I can't like I can recline my chair down and everything. It's great. So,
Yeah.
but whenever it comes to game time, I just recline it up a little bit and get ready.
That that only happens like when I get mad. When I do that, like the lean when you start trying hard.
Every time in Warzone, we're like top four. One of my friends like, all right, time to lean up, and they get up and like drop 4 more kills. It's
Oh,
crazy.
so I've been playing Warzone. I got addicted to it for a while, but it's been making me so mad lately. I just started playing Hyperscape,
Hmm.
and that's making me even more mad. But it's more addicting than
Yeah,
Warzone.
it
Uh,
sucks.
yeah.
They had in Warzone, um, they had the gun, the Bruin,
Oh,
craziest
I
gun. And so
wanted
I
that,
was like, you know what? I'm gonna invest the time to unlock the gun, level it up, and get all the attachments for it. I did it,
and then they nerfed
and they
it.
nerfed it yesterday. I've had the gun for 2 days. I've used the gun for 2 days. I spent 4 days trying to grind it out. It was such a waste of
I
time.
That's how I felt with the Growl because at the
Hmm.
time I when Warzone started, I only used like I think it was like the M4
Hmm.
and the AX50, and that was it. And then everybody started using the Growl.
I know. I have like 3 guns that are just that I can use.
Hmm.
It's the M4, the Kilo, and an MP5.
Oh,
Those are because I don't use any other guns. Like if I had to choose any other guns, they'd be like level 1, level 2, level 3. That's it. Like no attachments, no nothing.
oh, I like double weapon XP and then started the M13
Yeah,
not too long ago as well. That's one of my favorites right now.
yeah. I like I stay on the Kilo. The Kilo is like the main gun I use, just
I
because
got
I
a friend like that. Yeah,
that and then my
he used
MP5.
he used the 100 round mags on
The two giant barrels.
you trying
I
barrel.
can't do that. I just have the 30 round mags.
All right.
Just giant
All right.
barrel. I
So
hate
you
those.
still got a little bit of like sanity left in you.
I can't like I put a 50 round mag. I was like, I'll just do this so save time reloading. I hated it.
Mhm.
I hated it so much. Just because I
Yep.
was used to like having the mobility be like pretty good. I put that
Mhm.
on and just went down.
Oh,
Like I'll find
uh,
like the 50 like the 100 round mags like out of a crate or whatever.
uh,
Can't pick it up. I will not pick it up. I'm not trying to be seen by these other players with a 100 round mag on the AR.
well, what's worse is when you kill somebody and then you hear the rage
Hmm.
chat. They're like, "Dude, he's still using." Those are my favorite moments. Though.
It's like, come on, man. I don't know any better.
Yeah.
What's so bad about this gun? Like I was leveling up my Bruin, and I had a certain scope on it, and I was playing with one of my friends. He's like, "Bro, you know that's the worst scope for the Bruin." I was like, it's the only one
Uh,
I got, man.
I had a friend that put a sniper scope on it one time. Oh man, I
Uh,
hate that gun.
it was so good using it. I was so mad when they nerfed it. When I heard they nerfed it, because I didn't even know until
I
yesterday. And one of my friends like, "Yeah, they nerfed the Bruin." I was like,
I saw the patch notes on it. I was like, finally, maybe I can enjoy this game again. But then they buffed the starting pistol, so it's like 2 or 3 shots
"Oh,
now.
they did."
It apparently they did, but I haven't played that game in a few days, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's crazy. It is so. I was so mad. All my whole time just wasted just because they nerfed it. Oh, it's been an hour so far.
I didn't even.
It went
Man.
by fast.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple things left. Just quick
All right.
questions. All right, top 3 favorite projects of all time right now.
Right now, I'm really big into My Turn by Lil Baby,
It's fire.
The Goat by Polo G, and then I have to name an old one, The Chronic by Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Probably my top three in rotation as well.
Yeah.
But those pretty solid for me right now.
I wanted to buy the My Turn vinyl, but I decided not to. Just
Uh,
because I was.
I just did that, almost did that with the internet money
Mm-hmm.
before the storm one, but I chose not to be bankrupt for the next 2 weeks.
I was going to because I loved the album. I came out. I was listening to it on the way to school one day. Loved it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait a bit. Have it
Just
like kind
see
of
how you, yeah.
have it go down in price a little bit, then buy it after that. Because my goal was to have like I have this whole row, 2 rows filled. I have this
Mhm.
one right here, and then you can't see, but around here, I
The
have
start again.
the Mac Miller circles, or yeah,
Um,
circles, and then I have the Denzel Curry Taboo.
oh,
So
those are some crazy covers though.
yeah, so like I have my goal is to have like at least 3 rows on each side.
Okay.
So I mean I'm still working on it, but
Have you tried going to a record store?
I buy most of mine on off Amazon or off like their store, but I've gone to
Okay.
record stores or whatnot and got like I got the where was it? I got like the Future one over there, right
Okay.
there off a record store, and I got a few that I just haven't put up yet. But and I got more in my room that have like I've got bought like signed and everything. So
Man, that's pretty awesome though. I want to do something like that eventually, but want to probably when I get my own place.
yeah, and it's gonna be annoying to take all this down if I when I move.
Yeah, one,
But I
you're gonna
mean,
have 3 boxes full.
they're all connected by command strip, so it should be easy. I just gotta be
No,
careful.
that's not bad though.
No, yeah. But all right, let's see. Uh, my phone keeps turning off. I have my list on here. All right, who right now, if you could make a song with, who would it be? Any artist.
Um,
You had to choose one person, make a hit. Who would it be?
Kid Leroy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I just like I listen to him a cappella like on Genius
Mm-hmm.
or just like in general, and his voice talent's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I just think like I love Juice when he was alive,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's just the nostalgia of his
Yeah.
voice just uh, makes me want to hear more music from him and just like create with him and see how he works.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. And last but not least, do you have any advice to anybody kind of wanting to start producing, trying to get back into it?
Just stay on top of it. Like if this is something you're actually thinking about doing, it's not only a full time job, but it's like an overtime job. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to be on it every single day. Uh, Whether it's connecting with people, sending loops out, doing drums for people. Uh, I mean, even if you're just like getting to know artists, like that, it's full time. Like there's no stopping. Just make sure you keep up with the daily grind.
Yeah. And then I got one more. I'm trying to look for it right now.
All right.
Going through your Twitter actually because it was something that you brought up. Yeah. What is your first name?
Uh, so in my handle it says Yepes underscore Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan's actually my middle name. So my first name is David.
They,
That's my legal name.
I'm seeing all
And
these
then, and
Eugene.
then you can see it in the thread that my dad he actually replied letter by letter. He spelled it out, and I was like, stop.
Yeah, I saw that and then I was scrolling through it. It's either Ethan, somebody said Randall.
I was like, what?
There's Eugene, James.
I know a few of them were like
Yeah.
joking. I could tell, but I was like, really?
There's one Nath. Just I don't even know if that's a real name.
Yeah,
It's Ethan backwards.
it is. Yeah.
But
I, I do that. I do that sometimes. I just start thinking. I'm like, I wonder if they could guess it, and then I'll just like tweet out something that I'm thinking about.
I know because I was gonna call you Ethan, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that.
I actually go by
You go
Ethan
by
though.
Ethan.
That's what I go by.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool. 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 All right. Well, thank you not coming. I mean, thank you for doing this. Um, I'll have all his stuff, usernames, whatever, on there in the description below. Um, if you ever want to collab, send me some loops. I'm
I
down.
got.
I do not.
I
I do not do loops. I'll do it like a really great melody after like making 10 beats. I'm like, you know what? Great. I think I can do loops now, and then I'll try it again. It does not work out.
I can try. I'm not the best at them, but yeah, at the very least, I can have send you some of my team's loops
So
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Uh,
But no, yeah, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing this. And
yeah, no problem. I'm more grateful that you asked me to come on.
no, yeah, thank you. I'll later on probably we'll have you back. We'll see how this whole thing plans out. So a reunion tour or
Maybe,
something like that.
maybe one day you'll have like a no jumper type of
I know,
podcast.
right? Like the producer
Yeah,
grant, whatever, like that. So
yeah,
that's the
that's
goal.
it.
I mean, we're trying to do everything big time.
Hey, I
But
mean, just stick with it. I feel like you could take this far.
yeah, I mean, especially with the producer community, they're all trying to get their names out there. So the support is there. So just got to
It's
make it
great.
known.
Yeah.
I've been getting more growth on the Underground Stars Twitter account than I have on my normal one. I get like
Oh,
I've been getting like, oh, so and so followed you, disliked. And I was like, all right, I think I'm popping. And then I check my Twitter, not there. I go to the other one, it's all there. So
I think after the tweet where you tagged all of us that you were
yeah,
going to interview, I think it just out of all of us liking
yeah,
retweeting it, it kind of
it
just
was a strategic tweet right there. I
yeah.
was like, this is about to hit. This is about to put us on the map.
He
So
said this is big brain going on.
so, but no, yep. I mean, thank you for
Yeah,
being
no
on
problem, man.
Underground Stars. I forgot to mention that very first thing. So, but yeah, I mean, this was episode 3. Thank you all.